Well, Silverheads, Iran has threatened preemptive strike. They have threatened to hit Israel soon, within hours, is what they said. So what's happening here? They had originally threatened that if Iran went into Gaza, that they would strike, that they would strike for Hezbollah. But it's not clear that it's just Hezbollah that will be doing the action, but Hezbollah is a known proxy of Iran. And the United States had brought its aircraft carrier, the Gerald R. Ford, into the Mideast, right there in Israel and Mediterranean Sea, and is now sending the Dwight D. Eisenhower, supposedly to stave this off, to put pressure on these countries not to escalate. But it does not appear that this is working. As some of you may know, that Vladimir Putin has even, supposedly suggested that he could broker a peace deal, but a lot of sources are discounting that and they're not paying attention to that. So there's a lot at stake right now because of our forces going on. We got 2,000 troops on the way, also Marine Task Force. This is escalating. We've got Air Force in the area. We've got Navy in the area. Guys, and plus we've got our nuclear drills that have started, NATO nuclear drills, which just so happen to also be in the Mediterranean and Aegean Seas and those areas all around there. And this is called Russia's attention naturally. It's catching everyone's attention. So why so much? We got nuclear sniffing planes flying around in the Mideast right now. Why are they doing that? What do they expect? Why such emphasis on escalation? Some people allege that there's concerns that Pakistani nukes may be slipping in to the fray here, or that Iran maybe already has one. And as I have posited in the past, and it's been reinforced by the late, great Dr. Peter Vincent Pry, the potential that Iran had already had some from when Kazakhstan when the Soviet Union broke apart early on, before Kazakhstan handed over the rest of what they had back to Russia. I had heard 2 originally, but I've heard 4 since then. I heard complete missiles with nuclear warheads. So, that's alleged, but I've heard it from multiple sources. So, and I heard it early on, like as soon as the Soviet Union fell apart. So that's, I've been in the defense community for a long time, guys. We used to work in missile defense. That's what that calendar is for behind me back here. And I've chaired 2 power grid defense conferences. That's my podium placard there, trying to do preemptive action. What I'm most worried about in this country, if we get into it with Iran, is our power grid here at home, because the Iranians have, by the words of the head of the Iranian Revolutionary Guard, had sleeper cells in this country that had targeted over 20 of our substations initially. They actually said 20 teams. Of course, according to the FBI, there's nothing to worry about, despite that was years ago, and despite the fact that we've had millions pouring across our borders from the south, God knows who else slipping in with them. What do you think? I'm going to go with some of these articles, but that's the thing that concerns me most, is what might happen right here on our soil and when it might happen. I had always said that I would expect that would kick off if we got directly into a war with Iran. My friends, we may be on the verge of it. We're also have North Korea making some new threats toward us. And then there's the concerns about China and war with them. Guys, it is cooking. It may be game on before we know it. These things have a tendency to sometimes escalate rapidly. Things can kind of build up slowly, but you never know when it's going to take a sharp turn. Just like this whole thing with Hezbollah going in to the kibbutzes and communities, Hamas, and when they struck Saturday last week. So, guys, we have a lot to be concerned about here. And some people are thinking, well, it's all going to blow over. Well, I hope you're right. But we've got to prep and pray. We got to be ready for the worst, guys. And the worst is not pretty at all. We're talking about power grid down here. We're talking about escalation of full-blown World War III. I still don't expect we'll get to that point overnight, but Lord only knows. Lord only knows. I'm going to open the chat room here before we go into the article share. And for the coffee club crowd, we're going to try to be kind of quick with all this. I got a lot of material to cover, but let's see, I hit the refresh button here. We do have a lot of material to cover, but I'm going to try to get through it. quickly. It's late here. It's almost 2 a.m. We'll see who's in the chat room at this wee hour. Guys, it takes me hours to put all this stuff together. I still work a day job. I still have other business I run on the side and many other things to do. And so it's a challenge for me to get this stuff out to you guys. It's a real challenge. And so it means that, I'm unfortunately quite often later than I would like to be when getting this stuff started. We got a lot of people in here already. That's good. So I appreciate that. Appreciate everybody that's here. I see some of my good regulars. See Shelley and Michelle Young and quite a few Jason Smith. A lot of people are chatting here already. That's good. And I will go through the chat mainly at the end here. Whoops. Just trying to take action on somebody. I'm just trying to scroll the messages. Yeah. Oh, shoot. Anyway, it's dangerous for me to scroll these messages. Anyway, guys, so let's have a look at it all. Let's have a look and see at what they're saying. Let's just go straight into the articles that we're going to pan through today. Here we go. Iranian foreign minister, any preemptive measure against Zionist regime is possible in coming hours. In coming hours. And this message has already got a few hours on it, guys. So this is Hossein Amir-Abdollahian, however he says his last name. Yeah, by the way, Amir means prince. It's Arabic for prince, by the way. In case y'all didn't know that. Not that he's a prince. Michelle Young, thank you so much. Appreciate the super chat, Michelle. Yeah, it takes time to get out and get this stuff to you guys. So appreciate that. That helps a lot. Helps motivate me in these wee hours to keep going. Anyway, so hey, the remaining remnant, $5 from you. Hey, appreciate that remaining remnant. Yeah, we may all be a remaining remnant here before we know it, guys. So what he said here, he said that during my regional trip and the meetings I had with leaders of the resistance front, they believed that that an opportunity should be given to the political solutions, but they're talking now of doing something fast. He said, however, in the event that Israelis regime war crimes against civilians continue, any possibility is likely. But he went beyond that. Preemptive means it would strike before that, and that's what he was talking in here. This is the key thing right here. The resistance leaders will not allow the Zionist regime to do whatever it wants in the region. Every preemptive measure is conceivable in the coming hours. Every preemptive measure. That is wide open. That is wide open. That means from either state actors such as Hezbollah maybe, or even state actions themselves from the likes of Iran. This is huge. Every preemptive measure is conceivable in the coming hours. Wow, guys, that is over the top. And not to be left out, North Korea warns of overwhelming response to nuclear agitation. They're just talking about us sending our aircraft carrier, the Ronald Reagan over there now. It's either our aircraft carriers or our submarines, whatever. They are making another warning, and they are often talking possible preemptive action on their part. Mind you, that at one time we did have tactical nukes in the Korean Peninsula. We took them out a few years ago, and we're only bringing them back in response to what Kim Jong-un has developed, because if we didn't, South Korea wants to develop their own nuclear weapons. We were doing this in part just to keep South Korea from going nuclear on their own, from being yet another player with a finger on the trigger. Anyway here, guys, so there's other ramifications we got to look at as these times come down. Food shortages may lead to civil unrest in developed nations. What they're talking about here is all this talk of war, all this stuff spreading. It's already causing problems. We're already having supply chain disruptions just from what's going on with Russia and Ukraine. But they're talking about this broadening. They're talking about more of the prospect for fuel, guys. if the Strait of Hormuz gets cut off, excuse me, or if we retaliate as we said we would, you got to bear in mind, our own Senator Lindsey Graham, the late Senator McCain's widow, as I often refer to him, he's threatened. He said that if Hezbollah or Iran through her proxies, including Hezbollah, gets involved in this conflict, if we even have a hint of it, that he's going to immediately introduce legislation to strike the Iranian oil fields and take out the Iranian capacity to produce petroleum. Of course, Iran would declare war on us and close the Strait of Hormuz. We're talking about oil prices going up. Some people will think anywhere from $300 to $500 a barrel. That means oil fuel at the pumps here in America would be constrained availability and up real high. It also means that other Arabic nations may do like they did in 1974 and just cut off production. In 1974, we had long lines. It took hours and hours and hours just to get the gas pump, and you hoped it would have fuel when you got there. And that wrecked our economy real bad in 74. Inflation went up through the roof. It was a bad time. I still remember that. Hey, Colonel Cole, we have Colonel Cole in the house. What do you think? Yeah, what he calls him, Lindsey Graham. Yeah. So yeah, he's quite a chicken hawk there, Lindsey Graham. So he will be pre-married. Lord. Anyway, I don't know about that guy. So, but guys, this, I'm just talking about what it can mean here at home. I'm not taking sides in this. I'm just telling you guys what we're facing. Samuel Turner, salute. If Iran gets in the war, China will attack Taiwan and China will get North Korea to join the party. That I would expect, because they'll all want to move while the iron's hot, while the opportunity's hot. You always say strike when the iron's hot, and at that point, the iron will be as hot as it's going to get. And these other guys want to get involved. Well, what's the United States going to do at that point? Yeah. Jimmy Peanut Carter. Yep, we had President Peanut in power that day. Well, actually, President Peanut didn't get in until 76. But yeah, we had more inflation under him because he was a real weak president. And that's when the Iranians took 400 hostages. And I almost went. I thought I had a free ticket to Tehran back then when I was at Fort Bragg. And I'll always call it Fort Bragg. So guys, y'all better be considering taking care of your food supplies. One good thing you can do is go to prepwithgreg.com, and they got some real good specials over here. $200 off a 3-month supply. 3 months, guys, 3 months. Every one of these buckets is 2 weeks. You get 6 of them. 2,000 calories a day, over 2,000 calories a day. 21 varieties, 25-year shelf life. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, desserts, and drinks are mixed in with this, some snacks for $597. If you can't handle that, consider the 2-week supply for $127. Again, I tell you, this stuff is good for bugging out because you can bury this stuff, put it in caches, put that in your backpack. It's easy to carry in that regard, the lightweight. So you can do a lot with it. And you find other prepping supplies if you click up here. So you need to think about that now, guys. Iran's considers U.S. military involved already. We do have guys on the ground there. So they think we're already involved. We cannot afford to fund 2 wars. You're right, Mr. Greens. But how many fronts? We may not be funding 2 wars. We may be actively engaged in maybe up to 4 fronts at once: North Korea, China, and Iran, and in Europe with the Ukrainian deal. I mean, what can we handle, guys? I'll show some more on that a moment. They're saying over 70% of our troops right now are obese. What do you think about that, Colonel Cole? 70% of our troops obese? How are we going to handle this? $597, you can poop for a week. Well, you get poop cans when you get done too, when you get left over. You can eat it and then you can take care of your business in those cans. Well, if you're in a bunker, having something you can sell for that will be something to consider. So, yeah, Biden's going to be in Israel Wednesday. If it's ours, if Hezbollah and Iran's attacking, he may not be in Israel. He may change his mind. Let's see what he does in that regards. Hezbollah has 150,000 rockets and missiles. So don't take them lightly. they're quite a force. They're much bigger force than is Hamas by a long shot. And so this would really have Israel's hands full just dealing with Hezbollah and Hamas, because they're going to have their hands full with Hamas just going into Gaza. So this is going to be something. Woke, poorly educated, cannot pass drug test, cannot pass criminal background. You know, our troops can't pass drug tests or criminal background checks. Oh Lord, where are we going now? Oh my gosh, that's our military now. Well, you can think the woke leadership of it. Oh my God. Yeah, I don't know what we do. We run a lot of our good troops out by trying to force them to take a certain thing in their shoulder. A lot of them didn't want a part of them. They got put out of the military. I know some really good guys that left over that, including one I've had on my channel, certain Marine colonel. So 2 rockets land in Sedrat, however you pronounce that, direct hit on home. So yeah, they're already striking, guys. Stuff's happening. U.S. Marine Rapid Response Force moving toward Israel as Pentagon strengthens military posture in the region. Yeah, with all these beast soldiers. 2,000 U.S. troops preparing to deploy. Yeah, I think this is the same 2,000 troops, guys. So, and we've, on our side, are already claiming that Iran is a main mover behind this war. That's already been said. And for those that don't know, I really have I've always said that, both sides are being played against each other for somebody else's aggrandizement. And here was an article on X where they actually interviewed one of the, what's his name? Lord, shoot, hit the sky. Help me out, somebody. What's his first name? I know his name. I can't think. He's one of the Rothschilds. He's one of these that's like forever old. These guys live forever, right? And they actually interviewed him in here, and they're actually going through, and he actually reads the Balfour Declaration in here. There it is. He actually reads it in this piece here. And they go to the museum where it's at. He looks at it and talks about it and brags about it pretty much. So go figure that, guys. Yeah, are we being played? What do you think? That's why I say that there's a lot at risk here. Yes, kitty witty. You got to wonder. Trent, yeah, I think they got a hand in it too, because this whole idea you'll own nothing and be happy. Well, guess who'll be the owners? BlackRock. Yeah. The version of socialism and communism that they're peddling ain't neither. It's feudalism. Why else do you think the uber rich promote it? It's a trap. Bugger dog, that's a great name. Oh well, be careful what you say in there. Don't get too far out on that stuff. We'll get hit, guys. Hey there, Jason. How are we doing? Jason from Tulsa, Oklahoma in the house. Green Country Agroforestry. Yeah, I've had my coffee. So in any event, guys, peril now facing the U.S. Israel invades, Iran intervenes, and war goes global. That's what this guy is saying is going to happen, most likely. And it's looking a whole lot like it. The U.S. warns of real risk. Iran intervenes in Israeli war despite warnings. Supposedly that's what our aircraft carrier are over there to prevent, but will they? U.S. aircraft carrying bombers are on the move, and that's a problem according to this article. Yeah, so but it's not just to the Mideast. They're talking about all over the globe. See, we're sending B-1s to the UK, South Korea, B-52s, the Ronald Reagan, a lot of stuff. We're putting forces in action worldwide. Why? Are we at some heightened level of readiness? Is it possible our DEFCON level is up? Anyway, here's the key thing. Hamas knew how Israel would respond. And this argument, its leaders chose to act anyway. Of course they did. They're getting exactly what they wanted. Hamas knew how Israel would respond. So guys, it's all 4D chess, as NATO Canadian Prepper likes to say. they knew when they went and did what they did that Israel would hit back and hit into Gaza, and they knew they wouldn't have hardly any choice, that the people in Israel would be all up in arms. And they also knew that the Arabic world would be up in arms when Gaza gets hit. They want a war. They want a big war. Iran wants to use this as a means to take out Israel, and it would give them the upper hand in the Muslim world, if they can be the ones behind this. So there's a lot of things at play here, guys. This is a big stage, and it also plays in a certain 1871 letter I showed you earlier, possibly, if that letter had any accuracy to it. But boy, sure, I don't know, but it sure does rhyme, don't it? I don't know, guys. So there's just a lot of things. Hey there, Nick Smokes. Appreciate that. Salute to you. Anyway, so guys, this is cooking. I don't know how things back out from this point. Former Israeli soldiers suggest that the Hossein rescue operations were behind the delay of the invasion into Gaza. It's also been by the IDF, Israeli Defense Force, suggested that it was weather that was behind the delay. So was it weather, or is it this? Some articles said that Israel was afraid of Hezbollah. That was the reason. But so there's a lot of things being pontificated about, but Israel is held back a little bit. Maybe they're waiting until the Dwight D. Eisenhower gets a little closer. They'll get more support. I don't know what they're waiting on. In history, some kings would fight another king and not kill the. Yeah, that would be nice if they do that today. Just put them all in a ring, all the leaders. Yeah, we do appreciate the super chats. Oh my gosh, we're doing good tonight. Thank you, guys. So, oh yeah, but see, just to further stir things up, people are throwing out all kind of stuff. It just so happens that Congress Lady Omar, I use the word lady loosely, she actually was showing pictures, and it was so over the top. Even AOC crawled her case for it. They're all supposedly in that squad together, right? Even though AOC got onto her about it, because the pictures that she showed was years old, allegedly pictures of an attack that occurred inside of Syria. I'm not going to go into detail because this platform will ding me if I do. But guys, she did this just to try to fan the flames of anger. That's what a lot of people are doing. They're out there trying to make it worse, to just to stir people up for more retribution. We're over our heads here already. Starting with my expert says get a okay with a dot. Huge sandstorm in Jordan, raining like crazy. Yeah, well, Israel got flooded a bit, so that's probably did play into the delay. And it's tough to go into a place where you got to fight tunnel rats and it's raining, and you got to worry about snipers and everything else. Oh, good Lord, all these pop-ups. But hey, maybe this is why they took Americans hostage. Americans forced to sell $1 billion a head. Yeah, plus change. Actually, what, $6 billion for 5? That's we all got a target on us. Thank you, Joe B. Wow, we really appreciate you putting a target on our back. Anyway, but that's no excuse, guys. This is no excuse to do stupid things. Chicago area landlord took out some little boy, 6-year-old boy. What's a boy got to do with it? That's just somebody in anger. This made, the first place I saw this wasn't Chicago news. It was actually in Press TV. The Iranians picked this up early yesterday or the day before even. Just as soon as it happened, it hit Press TV. So, that's what they play up, guys. This just plays into the anger and the hatred, fanning the flames, the feud that's going on. Yeah, it may be Red Dawn before we know it. They may not be shooting in like they did in a movie Red Dawn. They may already be here. Now, this article claims that nearly all Americans sympathize with the Israelis, but also sympathize with basically the civilian people in Palestine. They want to see the civilians be able to get out of harm's way. So nobody in their right mind really wants to see civilians targeted. And so even though that's how this started, but two wrongs don't make a right. But how how does Israel proceed and have any credibility to their government with their own population if they don't go after Hamas? But if they go after Hamas, they're going to be dealing with Hezbollah. As we've already seen, Hezbollah has and Iran come out and talk preemptive strikes. So we see where this is going, guys. How do you get off this train? We're in for a world of hurt. So that there have been strikes. They're getting heavier every night because Israel's kind of softened the targets where they go in. But again, this is what I'm worried about. What's here? Whoops, almost lost that. What's already here? Did I put that back in the right place? Yeah. 11 million immigrants of the illegal sort have come to America, and the numbers are skyrocketing. It's just going up. Well, thank you there, Joe B. You've already done such a swell job. Holy smoke, guys. I saw another article claiming 4 special interest Iranians. This one says 2. So there's been there's some discrepancy there. By a sailboat. That may not be a bad idea. Could pose a significant risk to security threat captured at U.S. border. Whether they catch and release them, you got to remember. I showed y'all a few days ago Jim Jordan interrogating the Department of Homeland Security Secretary Mayorkas and saying, "Hey, you had 45 of these, and they were held in the United States. Where are they at now?" And he couldn't answer the question. He could not answer the question. So where are we at, guys? Just remember this, if these guys are coming on our soil, this guy on X, he's posted this. They're basically, these guys saying, rural America, we're coming. And rural America's response, we're waiting. It's a small town song. I don't know, it's not going to be pretty, guys. It's not going to be pretty. All NATO special ammunition will be in short supply. I'm going to show that because I got that from you over 24 hours ago. I've seen it already on another YouTube channel. I could have preempted him if I'd have posted this right off. I just didn't have time to do a video. Sometimes I got intel long before anybody else posts anything because I got a good network of supporters like Colonel Cole there that feeds me information. Porous as the border is, they caught 2. Yeah, how many got through? Exactly. You mean President Magoo? Is that what you're talking about? Startled Mouse? President Magoo? Lord, guys. Now, this is from the Russian Sputnik. Putin berates NATO over eastward expansion as alliance launches nuclear drills in Europe. What else are they saying in Sputnik? Let's back up a little bit here. Y'all accuse me of not putting it, look into these sites sometimes. All right, you can see some of the other articles are talking about in here. Russia special military operation in Ukraine. Go over that a little bit too. Well, here, large majority of Americans want to help Palestinians flee violence. So, you know, sometimes the Russians show that the other side of the coin over here. Israel's evacuation order. Well, that looks like a Russian rocket, not an Israeli rocket. That's the way they built their rockets there in Russia. I've stood under one of those in one of the parks there. Moscow. All righty. Bridgewater founder Ray Dalio warns of brutal World War III. Says China and U.S. are on the brink of a hot war. And that's really the biggie for us, is getting into it with China. So he talks about, you know, the stuff with Hamas and Israel and how it can spread and escalate. And again, these 2 hot wars, talking about Ukraine and over in Israel, make it clear how horrific hot wars are, and that's true indeed. If they spread to other countries, most importantly, the major countries, will be much more horrific hot war. He talks about his experience studying history for 50 years, and he goes on talking about how this could lead to a war with China, which some of you have already brought up in the chat room here. Loadout for coyotes and mountain lions makes violations of natural law. Yeah, there you go. So, guys, it's getting a little too interesting. Philippines demand China halt dangerous sea offensive actions in South China Sea. Another incident, yet another incident of them almost ramming a Filipino ship, guys. It just don't stop. This is likely to be where it erupts. It may not be Taiwan. It might be with the Philippines. And we have a direct treaty with the Philippines, unlike Taiwan. Russian forces attempt to advance on Bakhmut and I can't even pronounce Avdiivka fronts, but to no avail, according to this report. And they're reporting heavy Russian losses, but Russia's throwing a lot at this, and they're still going at it pretty hard. So this slugfest over there still goes on. Let's see, quote, 70 combat engagements occurred over the last 24 hours, and they talk about some heavy losses. So this fighting is heavy in Ukraine. Just because we're all seeing Israel right now doesn't mean that the rest of the world isn't cooking and burning right now. Russia, Ukraine, Putin suffered serious losses according to this. Largest in offensive in months. Claim Russia lost 127 tanks, 239 armored personnel vehicles, 61 artillery systems. Of course, this is coming from the Ukrainian side. Once again, everything we read from either side is propaganda. It's all propaganda. So the truth may lie somewhere in between, but it's a slugfest to say the least. It's not pretty. Global markets watch for fallout as Mideast tension rises. So we're expecting not only food shortages, but all kind of financial ramifications for this, guys. Treasury bond auction. We're trying to sell our debt, but nobody's buying. Or very low. How are we going to keep financing everything, including all these wars, with all the debt we have right now? With all the debt and our harder position for financing it. Just want to open. And BRICS nations, who love us so much, dumped another $17 billion in U.S. treasuries in a month. So not only are we not buying them, they're dumping them. Well, no wonder nobody wants to buy them. Because these guys are dedicated to breaking the dollar. What does breaking the dollar do? It destroys our ability to finance this stuff right here, the U.S. debt. It's only $33.5 trillion. Jeez, guys. Our whole gross national product, look, our gross national product, gross domestic product, whatever you want to call it, is roughly $27 trillion. Our debt is higher than our ability, what we make in a year. That's the total debt, though. But once the debt gets, they say once it gets like within 80% of your gross national product, you're at a point of no return. We're obviously well beyond that point of no return, if that's true. And this is a peacetime debt. This is the kind of debt we, proportionally, we might have ran up in World War II when we didn't have a lot of other government expenditures. Now look at this. The interest on our debt is almost as big as what we spend on defense. And it's projected it won't take long for this to outstrip all of these. Our biggest outlay is Medicare. Our second biggest outlay is Social Security, which people paid into. So, they expect to get something back out of it. But, that is at risk. And, our so-called defense war budget is over here. But, you can definitely see these outstrip the defense war budget. Interest is catching up real fast and will surpass all these. How long can the wheels on this train stay on? There you go, Mr. Greens, PNW Greens. BRICS punished by God? They may be, but right now they're making life difficult for the United States. Exception dismantle wall. I do not mind helping either if we didn't. What would they be spending it on? Island kids? Something. But guys, the problem is we just can't afford the expenditures we got out there. The federal government is spending way too much money on way too many things, and we're breaking the bank. We've already broke it, honestly. So at some point, this is likely to all crash. How long is it going to take for it to crash? I just cited an article to you guys that said on the outside we had 20 years, but that's if people took our debt, accepted our debt, our treasury bonds, for that long. But it said that our creditors will likely get wary before then. It looks like they're already doing it. So how long do we really have, especially if we get involved in all these other wars? How long do we really have for this to go on? I really think that we could. Hang on, guys, look at this. This shows how fast it's not just linear, it's suddenly accelerating. We're really going up fast in our debt. Our debt is fast increasing. It's shooting up like a rocket that I used to launch. You go back to when I was in the Army, our debt was nowhere near. We're not even $1 trillion yet. Where'd it cross the $1 trillion line? Oh, let's see. Yeah, well, I was in the Army then, but all right. So, but look where we're at now. 33 trillion, actually it's 33.5 trillion dollars. Guys, this is insane. How do we keep it together? I don't know. That's why you better, if the dollar's going down, you better consider something to take care of yourself. Look, gold has gone up. So, if you go to defythegrid.com and type in, look in here. Oh, yeah, they got gold, they got bullion, they got rounds, many things in here. You can see they got notes, coins, rounds, bars, platinum, silver, gold. You can get all that stuff here. But they got a deal here. It says that if you can find a better deal, they'll meet it or beat it. How can you beat that, guys? They'll meet it or beat it. So what I like here is, personally, I like the gold backs. And the reason I like the gold backs is because it's a minute amount of gold. It is gold, but it's a fungible amount that you can actually go buy small stuff with without having to shave stuff off and weigh it out, because you already know what's on here. This is 1,000th of a troy ounce in a thin sheet that you can put in your wallet. It might be good to have should money get to be a problem, or they come out with a CBDCs and you don't want to trade in that. So yeah, as New Day's posting link, use the code GreenGregs and get 1% off. It's in the chat room, guys. I'll try to post it in the notes tonight. All right, I'm trying to get through this stuff fast here. What do we got? We only been in 36 minutes. I'm almost through the articles tonight. I need gold, silver, and real resources. Yeah, real resource. I'm going to show you another real resource. Wait, what happened? I lost an article. Where did it go? Yeah. I'll just have to tell you about it. Looks like I closed something out inadvertently going through this stuff. Oh, no, here it is. I'm actually on it. Lake City Ammo cancels all commercial contracts. Guys, they produce 30% of the civilian market for this stuff right here. I don't want to say it out loud. Well, the Army needs this all at once. So they're switching to sales for the government only, because it's the plant that this is based on is actually a government-owned plant. So they are supplying the Army. That means what's available to you is going to be less. Now, this stuff too could be a currency, but you got to be careful trading something that somebody might send back to you in a way that you don't want to receive it. So it might be best if you had this kind of currency available that you hold on to it. But the prices are going to go up and supplies are going down. Fair warning, guys. If you're into this, you need to consider that. I'll show you something else in a minute. So yeah, let me stop the share for a second. On that regard, remember the old American Express commercial, don't leave home without it. Before leaving home, there's your checklist. So you need a lot of that stuff apparently. So keep that in mind. Let's hit share screen again. All right. Weather. Look at this stuff, guys. Let's hit the earthquakes news. Alaska, Adak, Alaska. I saw an article on this and it said the city of Adak, Alaska, was hit by 6.4. You got to be kidding me. A city? I don't even know if anybody lives in Adak full time. I don't think so anymore. At one time, there's some buildings and structures there, but I don't know that anybody lives there at all. It's definitely not a city. I hate the little surveys, or sometimes you order something that says, what city do you live in? I don't live in any city. Jeez. I try to stay out of the cities. Well, look at Puerto Rico, guys. Holy rocket smoke them on. They're rocking. Now look over here at the boundary of the San Andres plate and the San Juan plate there. Yeah, it is real. That is always a hotbed area, but it is really popping right now. A lot of little earthquakes there. Was this off Nicaragua, Costa Rica? They have a lot. Hawaii, yeah, that's probably volcanic right there. Yep, volcano. Newport Beach, right on the beach in California, a little bit west of San Andreas. Morrow, Colorado, 2.9. Hermleigh, Texas, at 2.7. Yeah, this is the biggie right now in the United States. 6.4, Alaska, Adak Island. It's actually kind of calm in this area compared to what we normally see. We got a lot around the Andes and Iran. 5.5 in Bandar Abbas, Iran. Alrighty, guys, enough of that. We'll look at the weather real quick because things are cooling down. Let me do an update here, make sure we're up to the latest. Yeah, a lot of 40s here in the middle of the country. A few 50s. Fargo's 44. St. Paul's 43. Chicago 44. Memphis 55. But Atlanta's 46. How's it? Atlanta is cooler than Billings, Montana. Wow. Or Spokane, Washington, or Seattle, Washington, 53 in Seattle, 55 in Spokane. But Atlanta, hot Atlanta, is anything but right now. Detroit's 41. Let's go have a look, see. 48 where I'm at, or close to where I'm at, 48 degrees. Closer. Yes, 48 in Ardmore, so I'm between Ardmore and Hunts Patch, so about the same right here. It's getting cool out here tonight. Knoxville is 46. Nashville is 53, though. Well, hey, if this is pronounced with an N, and why it really should be a K, why not? Why Nashville should be Nashville, I always thought. Down here in Georgia, 46 in hot Atlanta. Macon Bacon's 50. Augusta is 48. Wow, guys. The Worm Conference on the 4th of November is down here in Valdosta, Georgia, almost to Florida, 52. If I'm not in Arizona, I plan to be there. So check that out, guys. And I'll show you the link to that in a little bit, maybe. Let's go back on, see what snowflake. I'm 48. What's it in snowflake? Because I'm probably going to be there real soon. It's warmer than snowflake right now, 57. On average, it's cooler in snowflake than Huntsville, but right now it's not true. Of course, like I said, hey, I'm cooler than all these places way up north right now. Seattle, Spokane, Walla Walla, all warmer than me. Portland, Eugene, Oregon, 55. Idaho, Boise, 66. Twin Falls, 61. San Jose, 61. Los Angeles is 66. Las Vegas, 77. Denver's 46. That's cooler, but Colorado Springs is 50. All right. It's a big radio guy here in Salina, Kansas. Let's go to Oklahoma. Let's check out Tulsa, where Green Country Agroforestry is located. 48, same temperature as I'm at. Oklahoma City is a little cooler, 46. Muskogee, 50. I'm an old Okie from Muskogee. Remember that song? All right, let's check out Maine. Oh, Wise, Virginia is 44. How wise are they? Wise enough to be in the mountains. Albany, 48. Boston, 48. Same temperature as Boston. Bangor, 48. Well, 48 is pretty popular. Houghton, 44. All right, new days, you're a little cooler, aren't you? Let's check out our friend Arnold. Arnold, are you in the house? Wow, I'm cooler than Calgary or Edmonton. 50s, Red Deer 52. The Hinton's 41, Grand Prairie's 44, Peace River, same temperature we're at, 48, High Level, 41, Fort McMurray 44. Get over here into British Columbia, Fort Nelson's 41. I wonder where Destruction Bay is. Is Destruction Bay on this lake here? If it is, I've been there. I think I've been on this lake. Got some snow there. Mostly in the 40s through here. I saw 34 down here and Stewie. Check out Alaska. I know we got somebody here. We always have somebody from Alaska in the house when we're selecting. 240 in the house. Seward's 39, Homer's 44, Anchorage is 41. Delta Junction, 35. Well, they're above freezing. Fairbanks, 34. Got some snow over here. Nome is 32, right at freezing. Barrow's 32. Wainwright's 32, but Dead Horse is below freezing at 30. 26 over here, 21 over there in this pass in the Brooks Range. You got Brooks Range up here, and the Alaska Range is right here. Everything north of the Alaska Range is considered, and south of the Brooks Range is considered interior Alaska. That's where I lived for 2 years. Yikes. Have we got old Fort Bragg in the house? We usually get somebody from Australia here and England, so we'll check Australia. We got anybody from Europe outside of England? Springtime down here. 62 in Hobart, Tasmania. Melbourne's 57. Capital City, Canberra, 64. Sydney, 61. Perth, 75. Kind of warm over on the Perth side of the house. Weepaw, 84. Alice Springs, 84. Darwin, 89. So you're going to the equator up here, guys. Look here, you know, Australia deals with the equator on one side and Antarctica on the other almost. Come down here a little ways and you're in Antarctica. All right, let's go out here a little bit. Yeah, don't share my worm site. I don't know. I may shut down worm cells for a little while again. Having shipping issues with worms. London, same temperature as Huntsville, Alabama. 48. The Hall's 43. But Glasgow is 35. Dublin's 50. Dingle 52. Inverness, Scotland 53. 43, excuse me. Glasgow's cooler. That's a little bit further south. Maybe the Gulf Stream is helping Inverness out a little bit. Oslo 41. Kyiv 41. Warsaw 37. Moscow's 37. Say hello to Vladimir. All right, guys. Canary Islands 75. There we are, guys. Here, Iceland is 30s and 40s. Ooh, look here, 16 degrees. Oh, we got 1 degree over here. Baffin Island. That's a cold place. 1 degree. That's the coolest temperature we've seen. Baffin Island. 1 degree. There we go. Let's check out space weather. So they're saying there's a sunspot has erupted a filament, which gives us a G1 geomagnetic storm level. This is sunspot AR3467, which is not a big one. It's right over here, but it's put a filament out. My family lost in space. They don't believe in anything. They don't believe anything will happen. Lord, things are already happening. Yeah, isn't it crazy? Stuff's happening. Everybody's in denial. Everybody catch the solar eclipse. I caught it in the leaves of trees. The natural pinhole cameras from the holes in the leaves. Man, it's amazing how that gets when you get a good eclipse. All right, upcoming, the closest approach of an asteroid that we know of is the same distance away as the moon. That's going to be occurring on the 20th of October. It's 23 meters wide and traveling pretty darn fast, 21.9 kilometers per second. That's a fast one. If that guy hit, it would hurt. And that's probably a fairly recent discovery. Must be coming from deep out in space somewhere. Let's have a look at it. Yeah, it's coming out from the asteroid belt somewhere with a bit of inclination on it. That's why you got all these lines here. Shows it's on its way toward us right there, getting closer. So it says probably from the asteroid belt. All righty, guys, enough of that. So we're going to stop the share. Hello. So, hey, we got through all that in 51 minutes, and that's excellent. All right, read some of the chat room here. Modern day Crusader, Constitution, okay, Maine. Okay, that's a good thing to have. I mean, just put the laptop over here where I can pan through this stuff fast. They will go from normalcy bias to this is not happening. Yeah, they deny it when it's happening. That's true. They'll deny it when it's actually in progress. Oh my gosh, you'd be surprised how many people sent me video claiming that the special operation was just Hollywood. Yeah, that's what they were doing for a while. It's not real. It's not happening. Well, metal roofing and tanks around here, 6,800 feet. Hey, Keith in Arizona. Too tough to dig. It will be when the ground freezes. So you hit rock pretty soon there, Keith. Let's go back up here. More water as always. So everybody doing to get their preps straight this way? Yeah, you better be prepping any way you can, guys. Any way you can. Oh, I pointed at your house, Steve. I pointed straight at it. You should have waved at my finger when I was pointing there. Metronome. I could see Nolan's been, yeah, it could be. Especially in New York. So they might get it. Kitty Witzel asked, so cold. Hey, I know about cold. You'll go to Wyoming, huh, Juanita? Cold, wet, and raining for 3 days. Yeah, it's nothing worse than cold rain. I'd rather have snow than cold rain. You know, the snow will like lay on your clothes, you can dust it off, that cold rain goes through. And it's cold. Hey, there you go. Worm Farming Conference. New Day's posted that. Hope I can be there. If I am, you got a chance to see me. 41 in Bella Vista, Arkansas. Okay, Michelle, you're kind of cool up there. What's it going down to tonight, though? I bet it's going to get cooler. Tea is better. Water is great. All right, Carrie. I got a little tea here. Speaking of tea, got a little bit left. Wet my whistle. All right. Hungry, starving zombies from the cities can walk up to 20 miles a day, depending on water. And yeah, but when they ran out of water, it's gonna be rough on them. Yeah, we did 20-mile road marches when I was in the Army. And I got left 20 miles out in the wilderness in Alaska and had to hike back. My good friend Ed Kiker, I've actually had Ed Kiker on this channel. Ed's in assisted living now. Ed's having a tough time. California had 2 this morning, 2 earthquakes. Okay, they're Allium 369. Calm before the storm. It could be curvy, but that storm could be coming fast. How you doing, Anton? Afghanistan's getting hammered by earthquakes. They are. They really are. Honey Island Outfitters. That's a good name. Deception dismantled. Boy, that's what we all need to do. I am not shocked that it is actually happening because God tells us. I'm shocked that I'm seeing it. Oh, okay. You're not shocked that it's happening. You're just shocked you're seeing it. Is that because it's in your lifetime? Oh my God, Tangy. 20 minutes from Jerusalem. Sophia, are you 20 minutes from Jerusalem? Oh, you're in Bethlehem. Wow. Sophia, tell us, talk to us. What's happening there? Yesterday, I felt 2 bombs and heard 3 distant ones. Oh yeah, that's scary to be over there. How are the people feeling over there? Are people there really? I imagine they're really worried. That would be a hard place to be. See, Bobby Birch, also Dave Hodges, Canadian Prepper, and Grand Supreme News. I've not seen that in others. I guess everyone's talking about the military age mills crossing the border. Been talking about it for a long time. Guys, I was talking about sleeper cells before most of these other channels could pronounce it. Go back. You'll see me talking about that for years. Why? Because I got intel from the power grid defense community I'm a part of. So that's hey, Stan, good night, buddy. Drippy Eggs 13. That's the slope change, huh? A whopping increase of 3.25% in January, but it still doesn't cover the cost of living increases. That's true. Inflation is way beyond 3.25%. How are we able to keep sending billions to fund a war when we're so far in debt? Michelle Young, that's a great question. That is a great question. Slapjack says, print more money. Well, that's what they're doing, but that makes it worth less. That was easier to do when we had more dollars out there, but now our money supply is actually dwindling because of our high interest rates. That's the only thing that's kind of kept the dollar propped up, but that ain't going to work forever, guys. Too much inflationary pressure from all the spending. I don't see my Westerman telling me he's whatever. Okay. I do not mind helping. Okay, I read that earlier. Kitty Williams says we need Trump. Yeah, maybe we wouldn't be in this mess if we didn't elect this president. He said he was going to bring peace and respect on the world stage. Oh yeah, that's what he was going to do. He was bring America respect. How well did that work out? Learn how to use chopsticks, said Slapjack. Hey, I know how to use chopsticks. I have to learn how to speak that language too. But I do know how to use chopsticks. Actually, a Lebanese girl I used to date taught me how to use chopsticks. She was an engineer, by the way. So, all right. I like my 12. Yeah, I got that. I'm going to say it out loud. So, yeah, we're going to go here in a minute. We're going to get out of here. It's like getting too close to 3 o'clock. I got a late start. But hey, we got through this pretty fast tonight. Hey, Larry Smith. All right, a nug for girls, long nug for girls. John, I don't know. We'll take all the fun away, but yeah, some people can't tell the difference between fireworks and that stuff. But I hope nobody's shooting fireworks right now. Howdy, in North Dakota. Oh, you think we'll get your backyard one in for Vegas? Let's hope not. My brother-in-law thinks Biden is doing a great job. Oh my God. Lordy, lordy. Some people, right? There you go, New Days. Oh, you finally got a notification. Okay, South Sea. Spring, Texas. Hey, Spring, Texas. That's a town dear to my heart because I got a lot of lovely kids and grandkids. I got daughter and these grandkids are all right there. And with that, I'm gonna have to sip the last sip of coffee in here. So don't fall asleep on y'all in the last couple of minutes of the video. Coffee. I don't take my sleep lying down. I take it in a cup. Fork and spoon equal Texas chopsticks. Yeah, you can have fun with fireworks. I love them myself. Molly, the reason for the is a new oil line. Well, I think it's bigger. I think this whole thing has been cooking for a long time, guys. It's supposed to be high war and terrorist threats. Stupid. Well, I hope people will have discretion. Let's put it that way. The reason the war, yeah, Ezekiel, it may be Gog and Magog. It may well be. It may be Gog and Magog time. I've heard that Magog was really like supposed to be the leader of Gog. That most of us think of as two different countries. I've seen somebody trying to explain that's not the case. So is it Russia? Is Hal Lindsey thought back when he wrote the late great Planet Earth, or will it be Turkey or somebody else? Well, it said coming from the north. Even Iran, if they come in, are going to come in from the north because they're going to come in through Syria. So even the Iranians can come in from the north. Of course, there's that prophecy, the 200 million that cross the river when it dries up over there, at the Tigris River. Where do you get 200 million from? About the red dragon country. Oh yeah, there's prophecies about a red dragon, isn't there? We got a red dragon. Hey there, SV Thor sailing. Yeah, we're about done here. We went through everything. Won me back. All righty, guys, ladies and gentlemen. Tell you what, let's end early tonight. Let's try to keep it close to an hour. We're already at 62 minutes. Let's see. I'm blessed. I got great neighbors. That is a blessing. Christian Camo. They have a YouTube channel. What? They have a YouTube channel? Our friends, the Rothschilds, called Waters Doesn't Matter. I don't know. Are you serious? Is it really an official YouTube channel of that family? They usually try to stay kind of quiet. What's that guy's name? That one I showed a minute ago. I know that guy's name. There's him and there's one in France. They're still real big right now. Thank you for your wisdom, Green Gregs. Well, you're welcome very much. Borders change and nations change names, not necessarily our times. They're trying to change who we are. That's part of why they're sending so many people from other countries in the Western countries. They don't want us to be who we are anymore. That way they think that we will go for globalism once we lose who we are. Let's see. Breaking news. Doctor found not guilty. Just chicken signing prescriptions. Oh, Juanita, you want a prayer? Okay. I'm going to try to get her early. Euphrates to the Nile. Okay, yeah, probably. If someone walks to a rural area, there are no stores here to restock. Oh, you live next to, yeah, that's kind of sad there, the windy one, the house you're living next to. That could be a problem. Euphrates River. All right, I've had a prayer request already that we have a prayer session. Remember the 5th of November. After all, no one will believe this when we spoke of Red October. Yeah, it could be, guys. Could be. Doc and Chicken's Foot. All righty, folks. We don't have Granny Lana in the house. She's having some real health issues, and her granddaughter Kaylee. I don't know where Arnold's at. Arnold Schmidt. I'm going to pray for him just because he's usually here. We'll pray for my friend Randy Bly, the Blue Bottle Bunny Farm. Great guy, but he's slipping away from us. And his wife, Susan. Susan made this bottle for me. The Santa rocket bottle. You go back to some old live sessions from the farmers market. I had them with me there. I actually did a video where they gave me this, met with them in Ardmore. Good family, and they're having, it's tough what they're dealing with. Pray for New Days. She's still recovering she had her surgery, and then she caught the bug. It kind of kicked her a little bit. Although she went out and mowed her yard as soon as they turned her loose out of the hospital. Any other prayer requests? We need to pray for all the civilians that are in the war zones and fighting. They don't deserve to be a part of that on either side. So let's pray for the innocents, the children, especially. They're just the beginning of life, and a lot of children are being already getting indoctrinated with hatred. That's so sad. That's so sad for a small child to have hatred in their heart. And they're so precious at that age. I don't see more chat. I wonder if something's happened to the chat room. So we'll do a quick prayer session here. I don't see any other prayer requests, which is odd. Let's pray for. I used to say, let's pray that saner heads, level heads would prevail. I don't think there are anymore. Let's just pray that something don't work out for those that want war. Let's pray that this don't turn out as bad as some people would like for it to. That we can avert a lot of this. Let's pray that it don't go bad here at home, that the sleeper cells don't wake up, don't get activated for some reason, or that they just bumble it and don't pull off what they're planning to. Or that, like the guy said, you don't try that in a small town. Maybe that'll work. I don't know, guys. We just need to be aware. You got to be aware and be very alert, very vigilant. Pray, prep and pray, but be very vigilant every day. All right, we're going to say a quick prayer session since we've had one in request. And this is not a religious channel. I'm not siding with any faith, any particular faith. I believe in a greater creator, and I do believe in the power of prayer. But I'm not picking and choosing. I'm not going to tell you how to pray. So everybody's got their own deal. So pray according to however you pray. If you have no faith, I'm not going to chastise you here tonight. If you're here for prepping, you can help your families. But a moment of silence is going. All right, so let's do a little quick prayer session. Man. Okay, I'm not seeing the chat advance here at all. I wonder why that is. That's odd. I know y'all are saying something. Tell you what, let me see if I can find the screen in here. Or y'all are probably chatting on the main computer. Got to open that browser up. Well, browser's closed. Let's see. Oh, I'm seeing tons of stuff scrolling by. The whole chat, Knott's whole chat session. All right, now I've confirmed this thing's not updating. Friendly children do not have to suffer. Amen to that. Amen. Amen to that. I left you a link on your last video about the oil line. Okay, Molly, thank you. Healing and loves energy to you all. There you go. We chatting. There we go. Let's see. How come this thing ended up down? Let me hit the refresh button here so I can get that going. What's cooking over here? Why is it not doing anything? It's just frozen over here on my laptop. There we are. Now it's coming through. Now we're coming through. Peace. Yes, few days. StreamYard doesn't always pass chat along either. I have to keep a window open and muted during. Yeah, that's what I do over here, but it was kind of froze up on me. Loudy, lowdy, folks. All right, everybody, tell me where you're from. Let's see it. Where you guys from? As preppers, not knowing what is real bang bangs is deadly. Yeah, guys, don't just go out with your nug and start plinking. Know your target, know the situation, understand what you're doing. Use your brain. A lot of people react before they think. Don't do that. Think first. Understand what's going on. You don't want to hurt somebody that's innocent. Those things are for saving your life, protecting yourself, your family. Just keep that in mind. Thank you. Thank everyone for prayers. There you go, John. Your laptop had a fart. Yeah, you're right. UK, Trenton, Florida. Hey, Nightman's wife. Good to see you. Tech doesn't always cooperate. You're right, Jason. Northwest Montana, S. Young. There you go. Missouri, Texas, unknown vector. Norway, and then they got an NO in there. What is that? Hey, Odin. Odin's from Norway. I can be Odin. I'm Odin. Arkansas. Howdy from West Texas. Canadian border, Vermont. Arkansas. A lot of folks from Arkansas. Ohio. Tennessee. Hey, Tammy Baker, you're right next door. I'm only 8 miles south of the Tennessee border. Respond, don't react. There you go. You got to watch the reactions. Detroit Rock City, Randall Hill. Bella Vista, Arkansas, Michelle Young. Yeah, she's a little cooler. What's your elevation there, Michelle? Are you up in the Ozarks? Identify the target. Amen. Identify it and understand what's really happening. Metro non-vigilance is key. If you can't confirm, don't. You're right. Don't go. Odin's laughing. Yeah. Hey, I got these close one eye, right? Yes, I'm the Viking. I'm the Viking love god. Oh Lord, gotta have a little fun here. I use spray and pray method. Spray and pray. Oh, Area 51. All right, Jason, Area 51. I read a lot. I wonder about God and Israel at this point. Who is Israel? There's some questions. Any Ozarks? That's why you're so cool up there, Michelle. Carolyn, North Carolina. Northern California. Okay, Marvin, fun time. Jacob, Dennis, Chile, North Carolina. Sorry about that. I'm not sure about your last name. Truffle Turkey 7. There's a cool name. Backstop. Okay. Lorraine. Says Jen, seek truth and wisdom and don't be deceived. It's consequence. Yeah, killing's a consequence you don't want to suffer in a lifetime. That's right. Greg is secretly ripped. Metronome. Yeah, I've had a couple of people refer to me as their favorite garden gnome. Anyway, North Carolina is beautiful, Randall Hill. When I was a kid, we always vacationed in the Blue Ridge, you know, the Smoky Mountains. But I wound up getting stationed in Fort Bragg, lived in Spring Lake, and I actually did my rocket launch where I got this award from at Topsail Beach, North Carolina. Growing worms in Alaska? Wow, Jesse, I've shipped worms to Alaska. All right. Like and love God. New Days is laughing. God, you do have that Apple One, and you can get in. Oh yeah, I got this. She says this is a love weapon. So she said, be careful when I point it at you guys. See, it's got a P grip on it, you know what I mean? This is actually applewood. This is actually applewood. So this is a gift from Gorgeous Awesome. They've got we hadn't seen them in a while. I hope they're doing okay. They were having some hard times. They have or had a store on Etsy. You can check them out. A lot of crystals and different things. Gorgeous Awesome. This is shungite. Unknown vector. Breaking news. Local police investigating a local pawn shop looking for a suspect who stole. Suspects are in D.C. There you go. Love bomb. There we go. Hey, Lorraine, you make those. Cool. Cool. Well, see, Odin was always searching for wisdom. That was his main thing. So it just took him a few thousand years to figure out love is the answer. He shall not pass. That's right. Ye shall not pass. You know, protecting those you love is love. Anyway, question is it illegal to absolutely love this channel? No, it's not illegal. Appreciate that there. Colorado, Bart's Wildlife. Very good. So yeah, share our videos because the platform don't love this channel. They don't send out notifications and they unsubscribe people. I've had regular followers tell me they got unsubscribed about 3 times. So yeah, help me, give me some thumbs up. We got 233 in the house and only 182 thumbs up. What do you call a cow without a calf? Decaffeinated. Odin, that's what I'm here chasing. Wisdom. There you go. That was always the big thing for Odin. Wisdom. Research Odin seems to be a real guy that they base the deity off of. That's right. Most likely. Most likely. So, yeah. Most likely. You know, Odin was a mortal god. Too bad platform love the channel. I guess they don't decaf. Let's see. Yeah, you know, oh, howdy Alaska. Good to see you, Mag Rising. So you know there's the red heifer, which is supposed to be used in the temple for sacrifices, but to build a temple where they use the red heifer, they got to take out the dome of the rock. That's going to incite the entire Islamic world. So maybe it'll happen in this conflict coming up. I don't know, guys, but there's someone ready to build that temple. So, but since this is a harbinger of war, I would call that the apocalypse cow. I need to do a video, apocalypse cow. Talk about that cow, right? My cows run on methane. Well, you know, I've often said that if cows are such a problem, they should give the environmentalist the Millennium Award to Wild Bill Cody for taking all those infernal buffalo because he probably saved the entire universe according to the theories they have about cattle. Guys, we do joke in this channel. We do have some fun. We do cut up. So, you know, if anybody, you know, but we do what, but prepping is serious. The prepping is real serious, very serious. For that, you need to be serious. But that don't mean you can't have a little humor in life, because if you're just constantly, you're going to burn out. You're going to lose your mind. And your mind is your most important thing to have. New research shows that the platform, the Wailing Wall, was a Roman fort and nothing to do with the temple. Well, there's some questions. There's some questions. Armageddon. Mushrooms containing 50% human DNA breathe oxygen. Meanwhile, trees breathe CO2. What? DNA and mushrooms? How does that work? Oh, gorgeous, awesome. You found their link. Okay, good. If y'all buy anything, tell them Green Greg sent you. One will notice several times in Torah where important events take place at a well. It's the same for Odin on his quest for wisdom. That's right. Tree of life. There you go. There you go. All in seeking for wisdom. So I plucked his eye out. So let's see. Wild Bill is buried near me on Lookout Mountain in Colorado, Golden, Colorado. Well, we got a Lookout Mountain close to me. My mother was born on Lookout Mountain. Lookout Mountain runs parallel to Sand Mountain, where I grew up. And Lookout Mountain runs through Alabama, starting down in Etowah County around Gaston, and runs up into Chattanooga, where the Battle Above the Clouds was fought there at Chattanooga in the War Betwixt the States. That's one of the famous battles, the Battle Above the Clouds. And my mother was born on the south end of that mountain. And there they got a waterfall known as Nakalula Falls. That's where an Indian maiden was told she had to marry a guy she didn't want to marry, so she leapt to her demise there at Nakalula Falls. So there's a statue of supposed to be her about to leap over the side. Greg, do you know the secret to Skinwalker Ranch? Well, what is it? I think it's demonic. I do think we got demonic influences in this world. I have rocks in my head, so I built my own dome rock. There you go, Larry. Words. Mine as healer, or mine as, yeah, it can be either or. It's a tool. And all tools can be used for good or bad. The I was the cost of a drink. Yeah, from Mimas well. Mimas as well. So that's what it was. I spent too many nights on Lookout Mountain in Golden, the view of Denver. Okay. That's weird. We have something similar to leaping to the death from a rock here locally. Too coincidental. Well, that happens. Maybe a portal. You're right. Maybe. Like ancient Samaria, demonic. And if something takes out the dome of the rock and the wall, I will buy a sailboat and go fishing for years. That might be a good thing to do, because that's going to incite all kind. Oh my gosh, yeah. The whole Islamic world is going to be, they're going to go nuts. They're going to go nuts. Greg, talk about mind control. The first thing to do is control your own mind. Don't go crazy. That's why we do a little bit of, that's why I like to mix in a little humor. You know, guys, we got to keep ourselves glued together, because if you lose your head, you're going to lose your head, really, especially when it gets tough. Mind control. Well, that's a lot of topic area there. So it's getting late. Maybe I should cover that get an interview with Rex and talk about that on his show. Getting a little bit outside the league of a prepping channel here, but you know, people can influence other people through thought. You really can. I've done it. So you really can do that. Is host in you, Greg. There we go, Stephen. That's in the days of Noah. That's where we're at. No kidding. No stone left unturned. So you got to be careful with that stuff. Good and bad isn't everybody. That's right. That's what my daddy always told me. My dad said, there's good and bad in everyone. Even the worst person's got a little bit of good, and even the best person's got a little bit of bad. That's kind of the Chinese yin yang thing. So, mind control and neuralistic programming. Yeah, you can do that. Yeah. Not enough mind left to deal with. Mind control, EMF, fluoride. Yeah, the fluoride's messing a lot of people. I drink well water. And when I didn't have well water, I was drinking spring water. I'd buy it. So I don't want that fluoride calcifying my pineal gland. You're doing it every day. Yeah, just thoughts. My favorite sight trick is making people laugh. There you go. It's the best use of such knowledge. That is true. Good, the bad, and the ugly. There we go. That's a great movie, guys. But there's also good, bad, and ugly in all of us, right? Everybody. So nobody's perfect. We're all human beings. Even us reincarnated Nordic love gods. Yeah, we're all human. So, and hey, I've already said I believe in greater creator, so don't get too worked up. I'm just having a little fun here. Ray, the crustal slit will destroy the dome of the rock. It might be. You know, kind of funny. Iran said that there would be a big earthquake in Israel. It might not work out too well for them if that actually happens. I'm not expecting a crustal slip, though, like they talk about over on suspicious observer channels. No, that ain't happening. Nothing like that. You might get a little minor slip, you know, like for an earthquake. Anyway, hey, Lorraine, thank you. All right, we got folks laughing. We're working. There we go. That's the plan. I opened my mind with hallucinogens. I could use a little bit of panel Glen calcification. Oh, you better watch out. You know, that's the kind of stuff that lets the bad spirits in. If you get into that stuff, you got to be careful. It's why we have free will. Yes, free will is important. And also freedom. Freedom is essential, guys. 2 wolves and a sheep arguing over dinner. Yeah, that don't work out too well for the sheep, does it? Around the hill, before this attack happened in Israel, I felt the demonic, spiritual, unclean magnet. Wow. Could be. Nordic love gods. Hey, Odin got wisdom. Oh, you gotta have a little fun here. Gotta have a little fun there. Marvin, fun time. All right. I should make a t-shirt picture me, Nordic God of Love. Nordic love God. We must laugh or we'll never stop crying. Now, see, that's true. If I can make you laugh, I accomplished my mission. Good evening, Greg. I was organizing stuff today, and good news is I think I have an adequate supply of canned food. The bad news is I think all this sodium will kill me. Lord. Well, at least you won't starve to death. You go out and get you some wild edibles to go with it. Mix it up, you know. I've done videos on wild edibles. Freedom is in the minority of human history. That is so true. That's why it's precious. We got to protect it. It is so true. Freedom Restoration Foundation. Thank you for that, New Days. Also, everybody do check that out, because you can go there to the what page is that? Go to we got a page on the action page. Go to that and scroll down, and it'll tell you how to contact all the Congress critters and then your state representatives and give them a piece of your mind. Give them a piece of your mind. I've been in prayer and fasting for 2 weeks now, 1 meal a day, very quality food. There you go, kicking out the bugs. Very good, Lorraine. D. Amor. I guess the Amor, is that love? ISD plus sensory deprivation channel will blow you away. That's interesting. Turkey tail mushroom is very good, and a lot of times I found it was. There you go. Bad news is you don't have a can opener. Guys, get you the little Swiss Army knife called the Tinker. You don't usually find them in stores anymore. You used to. In fact, they're hard to find. If you go to especially a knife shop, you might find them. These are getting hard to come by. You know, you don't have the spoons and fork. It's not 40 miles wide. You can stick it in your pocket just like anything else. But it's got something on board here that I like. It's a can opener. Ta-da! And this works the same way the one they gave us in the Army to go on our dog chain back in the days when they issued the C rations. It was called a P-38. My P-38 was the aircraft that would take out armor and ships. So it was also a can opener. So they named that after the P-38 aircraft from World War II, which is an amazing fighter craft, 2 tails on it. But anyway, this is a P-38. Well, no, this is like that. This is a can opener. You just catch around the lip of the can, push it in, and kind of walk your way around it. And you know what? Those little rotary can openers, they'll always break. The ones that, you know, are electric, well, power grid goes down, it's not going to work. But that one might save your life. If you can get one of these, get it. Get it. You know, I did a video 3 or 4 years ago. I talked about my 3 favorite knives, and I've got them with me right this minute. This was one of them. Maybe not this one particular. I got more than one. I got a bunch of these. There's another one. And I got a bunch of these because I get them because, you know, pocket knives are easy to lose. It's the easiest thing in the world to lose. So I got spare ones. I'm a prepper. I have redundancy. The Marine Corps K-bar. Caught on this thing. That was one of my video knives because it's rugged. Got a nice blade on it, thick steel, and it's tough. Marines know what they're doing when they come up with stuff. I'm an Army guy, but I can appreciate things like this. Love the Amish. There you go. So, and the other one in that video, which I've shown this a few times in a few videos, is my bolo knife. And it's dirty because I was digging with it. That dirt's from Snowflake, Arizona. That dirt's from my property out there. Right, Doug? A hole. Because this broad blade, I can dig with it. It's also thick enough, and this heavy weight, I can use it to chop with. I can chop wood with this thing. So I don't need an axe when I go camping. I don't need a shovel when I go camping. I don't need a machete. This serves all those purposes. And it might come in as a defense tool. So this is a multi-tool all in one. I've had this thing for 52 years, 51 years. I bought it when I was 12 years old. I've had this for most of my life. I've also used it to tend fires and dig into a campfire with it. Of course, while I'm on the topic, I have to show you another knife that I've got on my presents here. It was given to me by Rodney Middleton. I don't know if he's in the house now, from Australia. He sent this all the way from Australia, guys. Handmade. This is definitely a keeper. Look at how thick that is. Whoa. Oh, yeah. You can sharpen this for a millennium and still have some meat on it. Chops, I have several. There you go. Yep. And throw-in versions. I got some throw-in versions. Those, you know, I did a video on those 3. Nice little belt loop. Beautiful leather. Oh, yeah, this one's going to go with me. All righty, 420 in Michigan. Yeah, about that. 321 here. So I think it's time to go here. Mini Bowie knife. Yep. There we go. We still got 256 people in the room. That's my area code, 256. All right, we got 208 thumbs up. We need a few more thumbs up, guys, to help me out here. Share my videos. I'm pretty darn good with throwing. Okay, yeah, I've done some of that. Throwing axes. I'm actually pretty darn good with a throwing axe. Yeah, of course I'd have to be with a Nordic ancestry. I do have Nordic ancestry, real heavy. All right, guys. Let's raise a tomboy. I love the knives. There you go, Lorraine. Yeah, we're going to call it a night. 256. Awesome. Well, now we got 249. We lost a couple. All righty. What did Yuri say? My daddy was a staff sergeant in the Army. Well, very good, Juanita. You look like you can throw an axe. I love buoys. Yep. Yep, that's a multi-tool. Real popular on the frontier. Absolutely. Invented by Jim Bowie, who gave his life for freedom at the Alamo, along with many other great frontiersmen, including Davy Crockett. But you know, they were the best in the West, but they still couldn't handle being outnumbered by Santa Anna's forces. That's why, you know, sometimes you got to be able to evade. I guess they couldn't. They were surrounded, but they held out. Even in a fortress, they were overrun. Yeah, the Alamo was a stone fortress. Foo Fighters. Well, yeah, that comes from World War II. Got a tomahawk. There you go. Oh, Lord. Colorado. Made it to E5. Well, good for you. Jim Bridger. Have you ever heard the song from Johnny Horton about Jim Bridger? I love Johnny Horton songs. If you drop an intake pipe of a jet sprayer into a can of petrol, could it be turned into a flamethrower? W2. My dad was in WW2. My dad was there. Battle of the Bulge. And some other stuff. Crockett was one of the good ones. He didn't agree with, that's right, the Removal Act. He didn't. He was against the Indian Removal Act. Love Johnny Horton, the Battle of New Orleans, 1814. We took a little trip. Moment Colonel Jackson down to Miami, Mississippi. We took a little bacon and we took a little beans. We fought the British in the Battle of New Orleans. There we go. I did martial arts for over a decade. Learned a lot of stuff. There you go. I took some martial arts, not for decades, but for a few years. Yep, overwhelming force. So yeah, that's why you might need to evade if you're overwhelmed. Don't, you know, so you can stand and bring it back to them another day. My uncle was in the late 90s, still alive, served World War II in Korea. Very good, Drops. If my dad were alive, he'd be 102 now. I've got videos of my dad on this channel. Even got him talking about WW2. Okay, very good, Randall. I used to be really good at the crossbow. Yeah, I've got to get other string for my regular crossbow. I just got me a compound one though. I need one like be nice to get a repeater, like our friend Nate was showing from the Slingshot channel. George, what's he pronounce his last name? He always laughs. He's got a deep laugh. George does on the Slingshot channel. I get a kick out of watching him. He'll plink some. Ha! He'll laugh. I have Johnny Horton's hits. There you go. I love Johnny Horton. That's some good, fine music. All righty, folks. I said there is a great story about Davy Crockett and the use of public funds that everybody in Washington, D.C. needs to hear. I don't doubt that. They need to hear cutting the budget. Cut the spending. Jason, don't mess with my sisters. They mean. Mr. Floyd, General Patton gave my grandfather bolt cutters and told him to go to Buchenwald. I'm not sure how he said. Johnny Horton was married to the same woman that Hank Williams Sr. was married. Oh, wow. Both of them played the last show at the same concert. Wow, I didn't know that. Interesting. You know, there's stories about, you know, it was a song, I guess. St. Louis Jr. sang a song about the ghost of his dad coming back and forth from Coleman, Alabama, on the way to Nashville. Some people say that's true. You know, I got family in the Coleman, Holly Pond area, right around there. And I do like Hank Williams Jr. song. I kind of like his deep patriotic fervor in a lot of his songs. You know, Country Boy Will Survive, you know, I like that. Ain't kidding, my brother, my sister Becky will stove your head in. There you go. Tough woman's a good woman. All righty, folks. We need to call it a night here. We got a fair number of folks in the house. Wow, here we are in wee hours. It's amazing how many people get in the wee hours. So John Horton also claimed many days before he passed away that some individual was following him around, saying he was out on the highway. Wow. Yeah, I like lead acid batteries. Exactly. When he always say, you can turn it in for a cord charge. Oh, I'll keep the old one. I'm keeping the old one. Yeah, I got a collection of old ones. I just learned not to leave them out because they'll come up missing. Wow, the deep function 100,000 minus one, you may be right. You may be right. I wonder why. Becky, 65, rich and single, still good looking, Greg. Oh, he tried to set me up. Interesting. Interesting. All righty, folks. We don't sleep well. Uh-oh. Morning already. It is morning. It's almost time for me to get up. I got to go to work in a few minutes. A little bit. We'll have to take a nap first, though. Try to. I'm so wound up, I may not even go to sleep. Y'all got me fired up, folks. All right, we've been on 102 minutes. I meant to cut this off in an hour. Y'all just hard to get away from. I'm glad I'm here. Well, thank you, Randall. Glad you're here, too. Well, we're going to have to call it a night. If you hadn't saw the beginning of the video, hit it on the rewind. Good morning from England. Best wishes to all. Hey, Arnie. Good morning to you. Set him up, says Marvin. I know a few ladies in here might have some issue with that. One in particular. Good night, everyone. Good morning. There you go, Michelle Young. Appreciate that. Because it didn't align with the future narrative that was coming. Interesting. Very good. Yeah, they still had some patriotism in them, right? Back in the woods from me today. There you go, Chewy Weather. Hey, Chewy Weather. Good to see you. A safe day till we meet again, Greg. There you go, Anita. And this, all right. All right, everyone. Thank you, super chatters. Appreciate it. Thank you, mods. Thank you, everyone, for being here. And to one and all, a good night. Oh, yeah. Just remember, as light dispels dark, love dispels hate. Go out and shine your love light in the world. So saith the Viking God of love. All right, guys. You know I'm just having fun.